to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, renting on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic alternators are in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler. Over here on this side of your video screen, this one over here that's talking, and the person over there that's not talking yet is Mr. Jimmy Jet. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm doing very well. Thank you. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Every time I say that now, I'm good, I'm well, I always makes me remember the time that you asked me, am I good or am I well?
Oh.
And I'm like second guess myself at the end of this. So how dare you?
I love making people second guess their thoughts and their decision making.
All your fault.
That's funny. You can just call me Voldemort. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
Getting into people's heads.
The who shall not be named.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep. That guy over there.
Yep. Yeah, man. Good stuff. This is Monday episode.
Okay.
So happy. Oh. Maybe it's not.
Wait, it can't be.
Yeah, let's do Monday's episode. Right. Over here. Yeah, so, God, now I'm all thrown off.
That's fine.
Yeah, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Hopefully you guys got into all those Black Friday sales. Yeah. And I believe this is Cyber Monday then.
It is Cyber Monday today.
So a lot of cool stuff out for Cyber Monday out there. Hopefully you guys are checking it out and having all your wishes and dreams come true. Let's see. What else do we got going on, man?
Well, it is still, what is it? It's still November.
It is for a couple more days, I think.
Yep,
One more day?
Believe. Pretty close.
Maybe? Yeah, we're close there.
I don't know. I hope so. But it's so, we're going to go with it's still November. I'll got the answer here in a second. No, it is officially December now.
Hold on. What is today then? I'm testing you, Jimmy.
The 2nd?
The 2nd, December 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. That means the secretary's birthday is tomorrow.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm glad that we record ahead of time because now I remembered. I have time to plan something.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So on Thursday's episode, we'll do FNG's birthdays, who won the Duro Bumps giveaway and all that fun stuff. But for the month of December, we're doing Christmas gifts again, right? Yeah. All right. So we're going to do some Christmas gifts or some gifts from Tyler and I. So 2 lucky winners are going to win.
Are we putting a dollar limit on the value this time?
Do you want to?
I don't know. Cause I was trying to stay under, I don't know, like $50 to $100, something like that last time. And you came out with a $600 item.
Yeah, but I spent $0.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does that still count? I still spent no money.
It's the retail value. I mean, if that's the case, then, I mean, what? Then the competition is going to be to see who can get find the biggest free item. Yeah.
I mean, it's the best win for the customer.
That's fair. All right. All right. See what I can do.
Yeah. All right. All right. If not, you're getting a $50 gift from Tyler.
Yeah.
And like a $600 gift from Jimmy.
Yeah.
Which is not going to be a competition. I've already got a few things going.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be like our biggest giveaway ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to give away a used catalytic converter.
Perfect.
Because they're illegal to sell.
Are they?
Yeah.
And a blue oval?
And a blue oval.
There you go.
And Cherokee.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Oh, don't give the Cherokee away.
Why not?
I mean, that's a King of the Hammers remembrance.
That is, yeah. Maybe the boofer. I'll send the boofer.
You could give the boofer.
Oh, man. Yeah, so December will be fun gifts, and we'll put together the gifts to send out at the end of December into January. And then the 2 winners get to post those gifts on the Facebook page, and everybody gets to vote on who came up with the better gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Sounds good. Sounds like a good time. So yeah, if you want to get a gift from Tyler and I, then you need to go over to the irate4x4.com and then sign up for the Snail Squad section underneath the watch, listen, and discuss part of the forum. Yep. Cool.
SnailTrail4x4.
Yes.
Down there.
That one.
You guys know where all that is over at iRate. So get in for that. And then the gift box tier is closed.
Yep.
And
closed
you cannot get in. So good luck with everybody in your gift boxes in April. That's coming up. Let's see, what else do we got?
We got tires.
We do have some tires.
We have some tires that we can give away.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants some tires, you know how to do it.
I need to replace my tire.
One of them?
Yeah, one of them.
Okay.
It's the one I slashed on the Rubicon during last winter.
Oh. It's
still just barely leaking, and I'm tired of airing it up every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it is.
Got it. Yeah,
So,
that might do it.
Yeah.
But if you want a chance to win some tires, you need to leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Once we get to 750 reviews, we're going to be giving away a set of tires from Yokohama Tire. Any tire you want, as long as it's DOT approved and less than a 20-inch rim.
I like it. It's a good stuff. That's at 750. And that goes for everybody who's left a review already.
Yes.
So if you left a review back when we were giving away a winch, you're automatically re-entered for the set of tires.
Absolutely.
Which is pretty cool. So I kind of like that system. It's the gift that keeps on giving here at SnailTrail4x4.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You helped us out once, and now you're automatically entered for all these giveaways that we're doing. Because once we get to 700 reviews, we're giving away a swag pack with some SnailTrail4x4 swag, some more flight swag, and we're giving away an Onyx Off-Road Elite membership from Onyx Off-Road, obviously. That's at 700 reviews, which we might be at on Thursday. We'll find out.
We might. I know we're getting close. So we'll check on Thursday for everybody when we do FNGs. Anything else?
I don't know. Support small businesses.
Yeah.
Get out there, support the small businesses.
If you have friends,
buy local.
Yeah, if you have friends that own a business, take part in their Black Friday sale. If they have something cool, then you're like, hey, I'd like to support my buddies. Just buy something from them. That I will, as somebody who owns a business, I love watching my friends' names come up in the order queues.
Yeah.
And we usually always throw extra shit and fun things in the package when we
sometimes
get them
literally
out
shit.
Yeah, but sometimes. Oh, that'd be funny.
I'm never gonna order something again.
I just got a great idea. I need to write that down. So anyways, go support your buddies. If you have buddies that own small businesses and they do some cool stuff, get something from them. So
yeah. More Flight's doing a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. I saw
we are
20% off.
Yeah. 20% off site wide. That's on everything on the website. So glue tread, Colby valve stuff as well. So yeah, we're doing that, and that'll go through December 8th.
Okay.
And then starting December 9th, then it'll be the holiday sale, which is just 15% off for the rest of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe tomorrow ends the Snail Armor sale.
Yeah.
So if you want anything from Snail Armor, 24% off is what I'm doing over there for 2024.
Nice.
Yep. And that ends tomorrow. So if you want a Snail Armor, go grab one today.
Could people pre-order 4th gen Tacoma panels with the Black Friday sale?
No.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, probably shouldn't do that. I don't know when they're going to be out. Like, I just don't have, I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
I have the panel done. There's a mechanism in there that screws me up, and I'm trying to figure out a solution for it. I have 2 ideas right now that I'm currently working through. Maybe I might have the answer by today of recording when this podcast is releasing.
Gotcha.
We'll see. I need to do some work, but I have some plastic parts showing up, and I have rubber parts showing up that might solve my problem.
Sweet.
If hopefully, fingers crossed, that's true, because I would love to release that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of 4th gen Tacoma owners out there that are interested in it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to move on to something fun.
And then name that movie.
But it's funny. And then
I
know this movie. Damn it.
No and then.
No and then. Yeah.
And then no and then. And then
I don't
no and then.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember it.
Dude, where's my car?
That's what it is. What's mine say?
Dude, what's mine say?
Sweet. What's mine say?
Dude, what's mine say?
Yeah, exactly. So, keep your eyes open on Snail Armor stuff, because I've got some stuff coming out. I am releasing, if they have not been released already, I am releasing the 1st gen Tacomas.
Oh, cool.
And which are they are the same tailgate as the 3rd gen pickups.
Nice.
Yeah. So those will be out. I meant to try to get them out yesterday. as of when we're recording this, which was Monday. We're recording on it Tuesday. So I meant to try to get them out yesterday, but that didn't happen. So they will be released before Thanksgiving.
Cool.
So they're going to be included in the sale. So if you have a first gen Tacoma or a third gen pickup, I now have tailgates for you.
Sweet.
I also have, and I don't know by the time this is released if there'll be any more available, but I have 5 top cap versions with the bends that go over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a very limited run of those. I'm testing it out, see if people want it, see if people are interested in it. And I know one's already sold.
Okay.
So before I've even released them, I had one guy reach out. Have you done this yet? I said, yes.
Nice.
They're done. I have them. You want it? And he's like, yeah. So I wrote him up an invoice for it the other day. So
nice.
I have 4 more left.
Cool.
Yeah. If you want one, you need to get it ASAP because they will sell out.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff. I like seeing
stuff.
Snail Armor releasing stuff.
Yeah, me too. It's been too long.
Yep.
I think the last release for me was Cruise Moab when I did this Land Cruiser panels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've only done 2 this year, which is sad.
Yeah.
But I've been working on the 4th gen Tacoma for months.
Yeah. That one's got some interesting problems to solve.
Yeah,
So.
it does. And the next panel I do is going to have a lot of problems I need to figure out. I have had a lot of requests for Ford stuff too. So Ford might be next year. We'll see what happens.
Nice. Yep. Are you going to make a stripper pole?
I'll make a version that eliminates the stripper pole.
Oh, that's no fun.
Well, the stripper pole takes up too much space.
It really
if you
does.
want a flat tailgate, you don't want the stripper pole in the middle of it.
Yeah. It's really all that it's good for is a stripper pole. So yeah, it was an interesting idea that was a terrible execution because like it just creates more shit to get hung up on when you're sliding things in and out of your truck bed.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'll maybe make a version that eliminates the stripper pole.
Yeah.
And just turns it into a flat tailgate.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, cool, man. Good stuff there. Let's see what else. Anything else we got?
I don't think so. We got a lot more smokes plates.
He's going to need a whole wall.
I think we're just going to do like a corner.
A corner.
Or like maybe we'll start his in one of the corners and we'll just start working it out.
Oh, it's way off camera?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
It'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll go to the end and then it'll be like 15, 16, 17.
Yeah. Cool. That works for me. All right, let's take a quick break then.
Okay.
And we'll be right on back with kind of what we've been up to since we didn't do that on Thursday with Thanksgiving. We'll do it today to talk about some fun things and getting, I think, vehicles ready for wheeling season. So
Snow season.
Wheeling, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, so there is
wheeling
I
season.
thought you said that there wasn't seasons. It's all like off-roading.
No, it's definitely the snow season is the wheeling season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like a rock season.
That's kind of just
snow
that's camping season. Well, it's no, yeah, that's more camping season. Like I go outdoors during summer to camp.
Yeah. Okay.
I go outdoors during winter to wheel.
I go outdoors in winter to snowboard.
Snowboard. Boring.
Boring. Well, I want your tracks to take me up to the top of the mountain so then I can snowboard down.
Hey, that works for me. I'm wheeling.
All right.
All right.
Yep. Shuttle me up there.
We'll be right on back.
If you have a 3rd Gen 4Runner and want 16 inches of wheel travel without cutting into your sheet metal, check out 4-Wheel Underground's brand new cantilever suspension, featuring an integrated anti-sway bar and turn-by-dial disconnect. Don't sacrifice performance and comfort for the sake of wheel travel. Get both with our new cantilever system at 4wheelunderground.com.
That's some good coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody.
What kind is it?
This is the candied almond.
Oh.
Yeah. When I originally did the first coffee keg,
Yes.
I meant to order the candied almond bags, 1 pound bags of coffee, and I got all the K cups.
Oh.
So I got 6 boxes
bummer.
of candied almond K cups. So there's some here at the warehouse. There's some at home.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I emptied my last keg.
The most
yesterday.
recent one?
Yeah.
Wow. So now you've gone through 3 cakes?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to go the next keg. I'm going back to the candied almond, which was the very first one I did.
Okay.
So
that does remind me of something. When do you want to do Christmas gifts for us?
Oh,
you want to do it near Christmas?
I was ordering something for you last night and I got distracted. Now I didn't place the order. Now I got to see if I can find it again, if it's still in my browser or not.
I ordered something for you the other day.
Oh, okay.
Christmas time? Is that our game plan?
Yeah, Christmas-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's good.
All
right. Well, what else is going on besides killing coffee?
Yeah, man. Killing coffee is always good stuff going on. I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot. I mean, I'm trying to, I really want to go snow wheeling because we've had this storm come through.
Yeah, we did.
And we were told that the storm later in the week ended up being really warm and washed away a bunch of the snow.
Yes.
But then we got pictures from somebody in like 3 to 4 feet of snow.
Yep.
So I don't know who to believe now, if those pictures were AI generated, because they're not from previous years, because it's in the sperm whale.
It's in the sperm whale. Yep.
Yeah. So he either AI generated those pictures, or we have a bad cop.
Yep.
On our hands. A corrupt cop that's giving us false information. No, I'm really excited for snow season. I want to bundle the baby up in these little ski snow outfits, like a little bear, and throw him in a snowbank.
Yes, perfect.
And so I really want to get the tracks on the 4Runner. In order to put the tracks on the 4Runner, there's some things I need to fix first on the 4Runner.
Yep.
And so the first being the alternator.
Yeah. So what ended up becoming of that? You talked about it last time that the alternator is getting hot. Premier was testing it. The alternator was getting hot.
It wasn't getting hot. It had gotten hot.
Oh, it had gotten hot.
It had gotten very hot.
Okay.
And ruined the alternator. And that's why I was having it. It was shorting out.
Okay.
So I got the alternator back from Premier, put it in.
Yes.
And it's no longer shorting the system, which is great. Truck starts, truck runs, the battery charges. It's putting out 14.4, 14.6 volts. So we're good.
Okay.
My next thing I have to consider is whether or not to put in a DC to DC charger between the alternator and the battery.
Yeah.
So that's next on my decision list of whether or not to try and fix it.
And what would the DC to DC converter do?
It just limits the charging draw of the battery on the alternator.
Okay.
So the battery, which this is what I don't understand. If the problem is the lithium battery is overdrawing the alternator, then either Dakota Lithium is lying to me about their BMS controlling the input charge, or Premier is not making a great alternator anymore, because the alternator is a 165 amp alternator. So it should be able to handle 100 amps just fine. It's only 60% of the output. And the car itself only takes 20 amps to run, 25 amps maybe. So like the total draw under max draw of everything necessity running. So I'm not transmitting on the radio. I'm not have the amp and sub way up or anything like that. The total draw on the alternator should only be at max like 130 amps. It's a 165 amp alternator. Granted, you don't want to run it at 130 amps for like 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
But the battery, the lithium battery, is only 135 amp hour battery. So like even at 100 amps, if it's drawing 100 amps at full dead, it might take upwards of an hour to do, but it should never be fully dead.
Right.
So yeah, the other option is to just make sure the battery never goes low on charge and put a solar trickle charger on it when I park it.
Right.
So that's next on the battery electrical system for the 4Runner decision.
We got a message on I think it was 2 Thursday ago episodes. It was, I labeled it as, let me scan to the top so I get it right. Lithium killed Tyler's alternator.
Yeah, I saw that.
So Joe Obrimsky.
Oh, Hey, we know
made
that
a
guy.
comment on that show notes release on the website.
Oh, nice.
And I'll let you read. It's fairly lengthy.
Okay.
I'll let you read it at another time. But I'm going to summarize it. He said, really, it comes down to you're still shorting out. You need to figure out where your short is. And your battery, and pretty much what I was saying, your battery's so big, it's compensating for the fact that you have a short.
Okay.
And his theory is that the alternator is running too long to recharge your battery every single time. And that's why your batteries or alternator failed.
Okay.
So if that's the case, I think you have a few options, right? You can, one, figure out if there is a problem and what that problem is.
Mm-hmm.
2, the solar trickle charger. 3, a battery disconnect.
Yeah.
So I've always liked Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked Unimogs. I've always liked Joe. And now that he's also saying the same thing that I've been saying, it's just we're more in sync, I believe, for sure. Ever since he let me drive on his tires,
Yeah.
It's been a great relationship.
It's good. That's all. So if anybody's looking to have a good relationship with Jimmy, just let him drive on your tires.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how we become one.
Yeah. Did we just become best friends?
Best friends.
Yup.
Yep. Let Bobcat drive up on some 43 stickies and, we're good.
I like it. Yeah, no, a few people reached out to me and said essentially the same thing, that if there's a short going on, it's very easy to find it. Just get an amp clamp meter.
Yeah. Which you should already have one.
I have one. Yeah. So I just need to put it over the load wire or the ground wire on the battery while everything's connected. And
off, right?
And vehicle totally off.
Yeah.
And put the amp clamp over the wire and see how many amps are flowing through the wire at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's a little bit more work to figure out there and figure out what the best solution is and diagnosing what the outcome might be. But yeah, I think Joe hit the nail on the head.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Joe.
Because that's what I said.
Yeah. That's the only reason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Besides the fact that he's a smart guy.
He's a pretty smart dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows a thing or two about electricity.
Yep, he does.
Yeah.
Does everybody out there know who Joe is?
I don't know.
That's a good question. I know that we've talked about him. He's been on the podcast before.
Yes, he has.
We talk a lot about him.
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
Unimog guy.
He's the Unimog guy, pretty much.
Ooh. I don't know if Ron would agree with you, but
and then he's the owner of and one of the creators of the Carnage welder.
Yes.
So that's Joe Obremski, everybody, who makes an awesome product with the Carnage welder. I think I'm leaning towards getting a Carnage welder anyways. Because I know that was kind of going through as a possible solution. If I'm going to keep having issues with the Premier alternators, then I'm just going to rip the whole Premier welder system out of the vehicle and go to a Carnage. But there's some really nice benefits to Carnage welders.
Yeah, there are.
In the sense that if someone comes up to you at camp at Barrett Lake while you're relaxing after dinner or before dinner and says, "Does anybody have a welder?" You can just hand it off to them.
Yes.
And let them do the welding, and you can continue relaxing rather than having to put all your gear on and weld them.
Yeah. And take your vehicle over to where they are.
Yeah.
Drive your vehicle halfway down a trail.
No. They come to us at camp. See that big green 4Runner over there? Bring your vehicle, park it right next to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm leaning towards getting a Carnage anyways.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. There's benefits to stick welding on trails, and there's a lot of benefits to the portability of a Carnage welder. So having both may not be a bad option.
No, it might be a perfect option to some extent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since the bun welders make a what do they call that? Damn it, what's the name of the type of torch or the head that they make for the Premier welder?
Spool gun?
Yeah, spool gun for the Premier. So they make a MIG ready spool gun for a Premier welder. So you could kind of like really blanket everything.
Yeah. I do have that. I have the Premier bun welder that works with the Premier system. So it's kind of nice to be able to MIG off of the Premier. But my concern with the Premier is if I'm going to keep having problems with the alternators, then it's no longer reliable, right? It's not a reliable system. So I need to have redundancy now.
Yep.
That's my concern and what I'm getting anxious about.
Yep. Well, there's a benefit for redundancy anyway.
Mm-hmm. And Yeah, just have to carry more stuff.
Yeah. Well, you got a 4Runner.
I have a 4Runner.
You got all
that's
the
why.
room in the world.
Yeah. Not with having a baby now.
And intern.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of room in the 4Runner,
Okay.
we talked about it on the gift guide that I was going to buy that the fridge with the ice maker.
Yes.
I ended up not buying that one.
Oh.
But I did buy a new fridge.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Oh.
For Black Friday. It is a dual zone
Okay.
with a sideways opening lid,
Okay.
which was really important.
Sideways, long ways. Is that what
Sideways.
you mean? The long side opens, not the short side.
It opens on the short side.
Oh, okay.
Well, it opens, it's a dual zone, so there's 2 lids.
Okay.
And it opens
From the, like your hand opens the lid by reaching onto the short side of the fridge?
like the ARB does.
Yes.
No,
Okay. So it's the long side of the fridge is where what opens.
it's hinged on the long side.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I got that, and it's also on has wheels.
Okay.
So now I don't have to carry it fully loaded from my kitchen
That's
into the vehicle.
nice. Yeah.
I can roll it through the house, roll it out to the vehicle, and then I just have to lift it up into the vehicle.
Yeah. I usually ask the assistant for help
Yeah.
carry this to and from.
Yep. And then this one also had a battery
Oh,
that you can buy separate.
okay.
So all the features
And an ice
of-
maker?
No ice maker.
Oh.
I went back and forth with it, and I was like, I started thinking about it, and I was like, I literally started doing fridges to get away from carrying ice.
Right.
And I've never been out on a trail, never been camping before, and thought, damn, I really wish I had ice right now.
Okay. That's because you don't drink whiskey.
It's true. I don't really drink whiskey when I'm out there.
That's
and if
all. Like I need a few ice cubes
Mhm.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I can, so at night I can have my whiskey and I'll just throw in a small ice cube or something just to kind of take the heat off if it needs it.
Yeah. So
And it was funny because I was talking to the assistant and I was like, the Black Friday special has this fridge that has this ice maker on it. And then we were kind of going back and forth. And because we got the new Ironman 4x4 dual zone fridge.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we can turn one side of the fridge down to freezing and it should keep the ice as ice. And in theory, hopefully it will keep the ice separated, right? My problem is the fridge that we've always had will keep things frozen, but it'll go through cycles of getting warm and cold. And so the ice literally turns into an ice block.
Yeah.
And so we're hoping that we can have a separate, now that we have 2 separate sides, we'll be able to keep the frozen size frozen and have our ice in it and have it be, we can still reach in there and grab an ice cube instead of the ice, have to break something off of the ice block.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and Tyler's going to get the fridge. So if we really need ice, we can just get it from him.
Nope.
So now I got to go back and tell her, rah, rah.
Yeah. I don't know. Being able to create ice while you're out in the middle of nowhere is a really cool feature, but I can't bring myself to do it, especially because that fridge was a little smaller than what I wanted to. And so with the ice maker in there, it makes the space available for fridging even smaller.
Well, when they say it's a 40 quart fridge, I don't think they're saying that that's the X and Y and Z of the exterior of the fridge. I think they're still saying that's the volume on the inside of the fridge.
I would maybe. Okay.
Right. Cause I would have, at least I'm assuming they're saying that the fridge can hold this much stuff.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Not this is how big the fridge is.
Okay.
I would need to look at it.
Yeah.
To actually be able to tell you the answer. I didn't look at it, but I would hope that when they're claiming something is the volume that it is, that's what you can put into the fridge, not the size of the exterior.
I would hope that was the case too, but I didn't look at the measurement comparisons.
Yeah.
So,
because I think the Ironman 4x4 fridge I got is like a 60 quart, I believe is what it is. And it's a good size larger than the old knockoff Chinese Dometic or Iceco or whatever thing I had.
Yeah.
But it's dual zone. So I'm kind of like, I could even turn one side off and run only one side if I needed it, if I didn't have that much stuff. And at that point now, I just sort of have a storage bin.
You have a dry storage now. Yeah.
And I think that's sort of, I'm really going to almost nearly eliminate my food bin, and it's all just going to be a part of the fridge.
Yeah.
Where if I have a side that is going to be just dry storage and a side that's going to be a refrigerator, because we really don't we take frozen food with us, but we don't need it frozen.
Yeah.
When we do our cooking, when we're out on trail, we'll take a lot of like frozen gnocchi and frozen vegetables, and then we just throw them in a saucepan and then cook them up.
Yep.
But by the time we get to them, they don't need to be frozen. It'll cook faster even then if it's not frozen. So I think having a freezer side's a cool semi gimmick, at least the way I live my life with peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
But I do think there will be some benefits to having the option to having a freezer if I ever needed it.
My freezer is going to be dedicated to Otter Pops, pretty much. So
Otter Pops ice cream and ice is now. I'll be out. If you need an ice cream or an Otter Pop, come find me.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, and even then, it's like a little past. We're recording a little ahead of schedule here, but for Thanksgiving, we're going out to Santa Rosa to go see family. And I was like, do we want to load up the fridge?
Yeah.
Like, let's take the fridge.
Yeah.
We can freeze. We can keep things frozen. We can keep things refrigerated while we're traveling. We're going to be traveling for a few hours because we have stops to make on the way and some stuff to do. And like, if we want to keep things refrigerated, we have that option now.
Yeah.
I have friends that leave or move the fridge to the day-to-day vehicle. Like, I know people that literally take the fridge out of their off-road rig and move it into the minivan.
Yeah.
And then when they use it every day, they go to the store or whenever they go places, they can throw stuff into the fridge. And now you don't have to hit the grocery store last.
Yeah.
Right? You can hit it first, and then you have stuff in a refrigerator immediately once you come out of the store.
Yep.
It's amazing how versatile they are once you have one.
Yeah. CJ with the CJ did that in his excursion.
Yeah.
Because he had solar panels on top of the excursion.
Sure.
And so he just kept a fridge in his excursion 24/7.
Yeah.
And it always had like water and drinks in it for whenever he might have need something to drink.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you did get a fridge.
Yep.
And you got one that has, does it have 2 lids?
It has 2 lids.
Okay.
It's a true dual zone. So it's not like one compartment that has a divider in it and then everything freezes, right?
Yes.
So it's 2 separate compartments with 2 lids, so true dual zone. And so that was the one thing I want. There was a few things I wanted, and this fridge had all of them.
Okay.
So the dual zone, the app control, so you can control it from an app, so I can check on everything without having to get to the back seat and everything.
Iron Man. So Iron Man has both of those.
That's a pretty standard thing with fridges nowadays. Battery.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Extendable battery, so that I don't need to bring the Jackery anymore.
Yeah.
We'll
go with that.
Yeah.
You're still going to bring it.
I'd probably still bring it to do stuff at camp.
Yeah, or run an electric blanket or...
Yeah, that kind of stuff too in the tent.
But you're not dedicated straight to having the Jackery for the fridge.
Exactly.
And another big benefit to that I see is that you don't have the leash.
Yeah.
Right? There's no or ball and chain to the fridge, right? It's that from now you pretty much have eliminated a cable needing to go to the fridge.
Yep.
When it's in the vehicle, you'll be charging it off the vehicle, but when you get to camp, you can just unplug it and move it wherever you want.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that'll be really nice. So that whole setup with the Black Friday special was about $550.
Oh, nice.
For a 50-quart fridge.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Once I get it in and do some testing with it and play around with it, I'll let you guys know how it is.
Okay.
But if anybody wants an ARB fridge, let me know.
Oh, you're just getting rid of it?
I'm just going to get rid of it, yeah. I would have no use for it anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. It's still in great shape, too.
It's in great shape, and ARB makes awesome fridges.
Yeah, they do.
So, yeah, I've lost the AC cord, the 110 volt, 120 volt cord, but you can find those. It's a pretty standard cord.
Yeah.
So
that was one of the things that the China knockoff fridge didn't have that I really I need this in the fridge. And almost all fridges nowadays have a DC or AC charging method. But if I wanted to pre-cool the fridge before I went out, I had to use my lithium cube.
Yep.
So I had to plug the lithium cube to the wall and then plug the fridge to the lithium cube because it only had a DC.
Yep.
Besides that, I'd have to like run my car.
Yep.
So cool. Well, I'm glad you got a cool fridge, new fridge. Did you get anything else?
We got a new TV and soundbar for the living room. So that'll be coming in. We ended up getting a 65-inch 4K. And it was only like $300.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's some pretty crazy deals right now on TVs.
Yeah, and it's wild how expensive TVs can get.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on what kind of quality or what you want.
Yeah,
I think that I bought when we moved about a year ago now. I think it was a Black Friday special last year.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a 70-inch, but it was like $1,500.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
But it's like it was the cream of the crop 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it was the best of the best 2 years ago. I bought it 1 year old.
Yeah,
and it was $1,500. And the assistant was like, there's a $500 TV. I'm like, yeah, but that $500 TV is going to be great for another 5 years and then it'll be outdated.
Yeah.
But this $1,500 TV will last for like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And then it'll start to be outdated because my 55-inch that I bought 10 years ago was finally getting outdated and falling apart.
Yeah.
And that one wasn't cheap either then, but it lasted for a long time.
Yep.
That's my view on electronics in general.
Yeah.
Like buy the best of last year.
Oh, yeah.
That's
a good thing.
It'll be cheaper than in the one is now because I think mine was like $1,500 and the new one's like $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll last you a long time because it has a lot of technology built into it, and the technology is always advancing, and you'll be able to stay up with technology longer because you actually spent a little bit more money on the technology to keep you up there or to keep you ahead in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Good.
That's what I do with computers too.
Gotcha.
Most of the time, besides like the laptops and stuff that we're going to have for the studio. But like my desktop, I buy the really nice stuff so that it'll last me. So I don't have to buy another computer soon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep. So that's pretty much it.
Cool.
So,
yeah. That's all you did all week?
Oh, so that was my shopping all week.
Yeah,
the Black Friday shopping, right? And then for the Forerunner, in order to finish getting the Forerunner ready for wheeling season here,
snow season,
track season.
We'll go with that.
That works.
We can compromise there.
Yeah. I need to investigate the power steering leak more, which I found out where it's leaking from. I just need to take the grill off to be able to get to the power steering cooler and either pull that hose off or just see if the hose clamp needs to be tightened or what's going on with the cooler there.
Got it.
At that connection. So I need to do that. I still need to build the mount for the siren.
Yes.
The speaker for it. I need to rebuild that. I need to put new body mounts on the Forerunner.
Oh.
So you know how my door opens and hits my slider?
Yes.
I don't think that's because the slider is getting tweaked. Because I ran Barrett and I don't think I touched my driver's side slider at all.
Okay.
And like my door is like bound up on the slider now. It's really hard to get my door open.
So you think your body mounts have been compressed so much?
I think the body mounts, they're 30 years old now.
Sure.
I think that they're just shot so much that it's finally the body is into leaning that way and getting in sliders.
Maybe, yeah.
So,
or if you always want to prevent it, you could do like a 1-inch body lift when you're doing this.
Yeah,
and it lift it up a little bit.
I could. I didn't think about that.
And there's a whole world of electronical issues that might come with it, but it will give you more space behind your engine and your firewall.
Doing a 1-inch body lift?
Yeah.
A little bit. I really needed to go back, not up, in order to get more space. But
it will. I mean, it will. In theory, it'll give you a little bit more room.
A little bit more.
Yeah. But yeah. And then I see, for me, I think a 1-inch body lift's a fantastic thing.
Okay.
I know a lot of people out there are like, I hate body lifts. They're horrible. But I think it lifts your body up. And one of the things that you always have problems with is your wheels going into your body.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're giving yourself a little bit more clearance that way in articulation. And it allows you, for me, it allowed me to make rock sliders that hit better in the center of my frame instead of down low on the frame. And then it allows you to make or
Better
angle.
gussets.
Yeah, and make better gussets because you have a little bit more room there so that your rock sliders are stronger.
Yeah. No, that's a good call. And now that we're talking about it, you mentioned bigger tires. If I'm kind of at the limit right now on 40s with that body. If I want to go to 42s, I have to tub the rear.
Yes.
And redo the wheel wells for the rear.
Yes.
If I got a 1-inch body lift, I may not have to do that much more cutting in the rear. I may not have to do tubbing.
Maybe. I mean, in theory, if you're going from 40 to 42, you're only growing the tire roughly an inch on that
the top,
side.
right?
Yep. And if you do the body lift, I mean, it would be a good experiment.
Yeah, right?
I'm interested to find out.
Yeah.
My guess is you're still going to need to do a little bit of cutting, but you're not going to have to.
I won't have to retub it, though. That'd be my guess. Because my whole plan, if I want to go to 42s, I would have to cut a section of the wheel well and the rear quarter panel out. And then you essentially move that back and then 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah.
And then add in sheet metal to everything and form the sheet metal to your wheel well.
Right.
And so in order to do that, Mike Smith, our good buddy, he's done it a lot and he has a really good process of doing it. But still, I think it would take 20 to 30 hours total.
Oh, yeah.
To get all that done.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is that really worth getting 1 more inch of ground clearance?
Yeah. See,
I don't know.
That's where
but
I
a 1
think
inch body lift while I'm doing the body mounts, that might be worth it.
The thing is that your tire is getting wider, or I'm going to say wider in the sense of diameter of the tire, right? And your wheel well's not growing in width.
No.
You're lifting it higher.
Yeah.
But the opening of your wheel well is going to still be roughly the same. So I think that's going to be your problem. The diameter of your tire is not going to be able to go up into the opening of your wheel well.
Yeah.
Like you're still lifting it higher. Like the peak of your wheel well and the peak of your tire is going to be, you're moving that up 1 inch each, but the width of your tire isn't going to be able to go into the opening of your wheel well.
Well, that's one of the really nice benefits of linked
and
suspensions and sawzalls.
Yeah.
Is I can relocate my axle by just turning my links. So I wonder if I did the 1 inch body lift and then
hold it in
set the axle back, because my limiting point right now is the doors, the rear passenger doors, right? The rear doors.
Absolutely.
I can't go forward anymore. Like I'm cut all the way to the doors pretty much. So in order to go bigger tires, I need to move the axle backwards. In order to move the axle backwards, I have to tub everything pretty much.
Yes.
So I'm wondering with the body lift and maybe moving the axle back 1/2 inch to 1 inch, it might be enough.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. I got to go take measurements now.
Yeah. Well, what lift or body mount kits are you looking at?
There's not many options. I can't find any options right now. So I'm not entirely sure. I did some research this morning, couldn't find any.
Okay.
So I asked our good buddy Morgan.
Yes. Over
at Sidetracked Off-Road if he had any or knew of any. And he said that he's always gotten them before from Energy Suspension.
I got a body mount kit from Energy Suspension for Samantha.
Okay, that's interesting. Energy Suspension is no longer providing the body mount kits for second gen 4Runners.
Oh, weird.
So I don't know if they discontinued it or it's just a special order item now or what, but I need to call Energy and be like, hey, this part number that doesn't show up on your website anymore, how do I get it?
Yeah.
So Morgan said that he did a Google search on that part number and he found a few retailers online that still have those in stock.
Okay.
So I might just go that route, but I kind of want to look into doing a 1 inch lift while I'm at it.
Well, you can get that. I mean, it's just a different part number, but Energy makes those.
Do they though?
Well, not anymore. I don't know.
Right?
I wonder I think I got a 1 inch suspension or a body lift for Samantha. I think that's what I ordered.
Okay.
Because I was planning on, originally I was planning on pushing the drivetrain upwards and making a true flat belly down to the frame before I was going the route of items with 4-wheel underground and using their skid plate and their underbody subframe and everything that is going on. So I bought a body mount kit with I think a 1-inch lift, so I didn't have to cut as much way.
Okay.
So I mean they made them.
Yeah, when you ordered?
When I ordered one.
Yeah.
And it's the same. I would have, I don't think actually, you know what? I might even have, now that I'm thinking about it, I might have the wrong one for what I have because I've done more research about the frame of my vehicle, and my frame is a 1st-gen 4Runner frame.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. We did figure that out.
Yeah, because it's a 2-wheel drive Toyota pickup from 1993. The 2-wheel drive still used the older style frames.
Yeah.
And I think I was just saying that I have a 1993 pickup, and I don't know if they knew the difference.
Huh.
Also, I don't know how much there really is of a difference if it's just
they're rubber round bushings for the most part, bushing. And then the correct length hardware.
Yeah. My guess is there is a some difference because maybe some bushings need to be taller in areas than others because the mounts are going to be slightly different.
Just add washers in at those points.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, that's for the Bobcat's bed because Bobcat has a 2-inch body lift on it.
Yeah.
And on Bobcat's bed, I've lost some of my body mounts. And Husband and I cut 2-inch tall chunks of metal.
Yeah.
And just put those in place.
Essentially, all a body lift or body mounts are ways for your cab to attach to your frame or your chassis, right?
Yes.
And in order to isolate drivetrain vibrations, it's rubber or poly bushings in order to isolate that connection point.
Right.
So if you have metal in there, it does the exact same thing.
It's still separating or holding them together.
It's still holding them together. You're just getting more vibration on your drivetrain.
Yeah. So. But it's my bed.
Yeah, it's your bed though. So whatever.
Nobody's back there. You don't notice it. You know, it might get more vibrations, but the cab is on. And I probably need bushings or body mounts for my truck as well. Yeah. I mean, our trucks are so old now.
Have you ever done the body mounts on Bobcat?
No.
Oh,
probably. When I bought the truck, it had the 2-inch body lift.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have put a 2-inch body lift on it I never would have put a 2-inch body lift on it originally. Now that I'm a little older, I'm like, I think a 1-inch body lift's a good thing. Like I've sort of stated, there comes a lot of problems with electrical because some electrical points aren't made to have extend that far. So you need to figure that out. But there was a lot of things with Bobcat that like I didn't realize until now later in life how kind of janky it is. And I think that it was just the time.
Yeah.
You know, it was I was young in the off-road career, didn't know exactly what I was looking at or looking for. And 2, it was the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And they just were building things differently then.
Yep. I mean, a lot of what we have in the off-road industry came about because of JKs.
Yes.
JK Jeeps. The idea of making things easy and non-fabrication to install in your vehicle really started in about 2007.
Sure.
So like anything before 2007, 2008 is kind of janky stuff. It's fabrication that's left up to the owner of the vehicle to decide how he wants to install and get it on that vehicle.
Yeah. And mine I was still independent suspension, you know, so it had a 4-inch independent suspension lift.
Yeah.
And a 2-inch body lift.
Yeah.
On 33s.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So yeah, there was a lot of things there, but yeah, so at some point there it was it was swapped out to these body lifts.
Yeah.
So they're not original on Bobcat, but it has been at least since 04.
Yeah. So at least 20 years.
Yeah. 20 years that they've been at least these body mounts.
Yeah. So yeah, body mounts and maybe a 1-inch body mount lift is going to be on the to-do list here in order to get it ready for winter track season. And let's see, what was the other thing? The shifters. I need to get that done as well. That's on the to-do list. I ordered up a new antenna for the GMRS, the APRS radio,
Okay.
because my antenna got ripped off
Yes.
at Barrett Lake,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that'll be it. So I do need to kind of winterize the vehicle. So that's going to come down to, I think I need to find a way to seal the axles or just not clean them off. They're so oily right now. It's really nice rust prevention for snow season.
Yeah.
So I need to decide whether or not I want to clean off the axles and seal them, or just leave them oily for the season here. And then the windows. So getting the Rain-X on the interior and exterior of the windshield.
Yeah.
That's a big priority for winter time. And then I think I'll be just about ready.
Nice. Yeah. Bobcat still needs steering.
Yeah.
I need to figure that out. I need to call Radial Dynamics and talk to them about what I need to do, what's going on.
Yeah. Pick that dude's brain.
Yeah. I need to pick his brain. I might try to click and clack it for the podcast.
Okay.
Maybe try to have him on and diagnose what's going on. And we'll just kind of like literally.
That could actually be a really fun interview of interviewing the Radial Dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of just doing our typical interview, we're going through a diagnostic with him.
Yeah. And then I, order everything and then do the work. And then we have him back on and we can talk about if it worked or not work or what happened. Or what the outcome is.
Yeah.
Right. And do a follow-up that way. I think that could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know that Click and Clack did a lot of stuff behind the scenes that nobody saw.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to, because I thought another way to do that process is to have him, I get on the phone with him and we do the diagnostic, figure it out first. I order everything, then I do the install. Then we call him and we act as if I'm ordering. Yeah. And then, immediately have the solution.
Yeah.
I like the first way better.
Yeah.
First option better. So, we might, I'll call him up and get in contact with him and see, maybe start the idea going, give him some information, let him think about it, and then have him on the podcast so he'll kind of know what's going on and be able to prepare himself with some answers a little better. So maybe that's how we'll go about it. Cause I've got to contact him anyway to ask him if he wants to join us.
Yeah. Right.
So I need to do that. I need to get Bobcat running because so the guys up on the Rubicon that were stuck at Supple that had the output out of the T cases did get off, but I was able to go and help, except I didn't really feel like I had a rig. We got invited to go up to the snow for track season and I had to decline them because I just can't steer. Yeah. So I really need to get Bobcat back up and running. And I somewhat feel that I might use that as one of my first back to YouTube options. Instead of just being like, hey, I'm back and I'm working on Samantha, I think I might use some baby steps and start shooting some other stuff first, just to kind of get my hands wet, so to speak, instead of jumping right into Samantha, because I'm not ready for Samantha yet, but I do want to get back into it. I tried to do some video editing the other day and I was like, man, I'm so I don't even remember some of the hotkeys. I don't remember some of the editing techniques. I was like, where's the fade to black? And so I'm like, oh man, I need to get going again. I need to figure this out. So, and in regards to Samantha, or let me ask you this. Are you done?
I did have one other update.
Okay, then go for it.
I had a fun meeting with the El Dorado National Forest.
Yeah. And packed.
Yep, and Packed Outdoors.
Yes.
So I brought them together.
Yes, you did.
Onto a meeting. Cool. And it was kind of funny. You could tell that it was the Trails and Wilderness Manager for the Pacific Ranger District, I think.
Okay.
Of El Dorado National Forest. So essentially he oversees part of the PCT, Barrett Lake.
Got it.
Kind of the Ice House Reservoir area.
Okay. So it's not the guy that we both know?
I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Dustin?
Yep.
So him, I sat down with him and I was like, hey, look, this is Jake from Packed Outdoors. This is what they do. And I have had this idea of putting in wag bag stations at off-road vehicle trailheads. And it's kind of a nice timing right now for everything. Because Barrett Lake is having it has reached a critical point with the bathroom and dealing with human waste. And B, Packed Outdoors has done some really cool studies in conjunction with the state of Colorado on the 14ers. And they're getting their results right now. And C, Morphlate is in a good position right now to help fund part of this project if we can make it come to light, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, everything's kind of coming together right now. All we need is to get El Dorado National Forest on board.
Sure.
And so I let Jake from Pact take it over. And he went through their studies, how they ran the studies, how they were working with the state of Colorado and the 14ers. And there's a volunteer group out there that's essentially like Friends of the Rubicon.
Sure.
Right. So it's like Friends of the 14ers, something. I don't remember exactly what the name is, but they oversee a lot of the volunteer projects on the 14er hiking trails.
Okay.
So they worked really closely with those guys who work really closely with the state, and everybody kind of worked together to do the studies. And they had a college take over and do the study itself to figure out how to set up the questionnaires so that they're not biased questions and all this stuff. And it's going to be turning into a peer-reviewed journal article.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty damn cool.
Yeah,
like
that's awesome.
If you can take a study and get it turned into a peer-reviewed journal article, that means it's a very legit study, and you can really count on the data that was collected and the results of the data, right?
Yeah.
So he starts going over everything with and showing Dustin all this stuff, and you could just kind of slowly see Dustin getting more and more excited.
Cool.
As he's going. So he's seeing the light, right?
Yes,
he's seeing what a simple little freaking wag bag, how much of an impact that can have on human recreation in the outdoors. And so we're going over all this stuff, and ultimately, great conversation. Awesome meeting. Dustin is on board. They have a ton of wag bags that are just sitting around not being used.
Wow.
But the Forest Service has no money right now. Like, he's like, I can't even put in requests for like paper and pens for the office right now.
Oh, jeez.
So getting these stations built, wag bag stations, or getting whole new vault toilets built, which is minimum like $100,000.
Yeah.
Is just out of the question. It's not going to happen. And so I was like, well, this wag bag idea of putting up wag bag stations at trailheads could be a temporary or maybe even a permanent fix for Barrett Lake. So he's like, yeah, no, totally. It could be. And it was an awesome conversation overall. Right.
Yeah.
And he's going to take it, and he's going to go into some meetings coming up here to argue that wag bag stations could be an amazing fix for human recreation in his area. And he said that he's literally been having conversations about what to do with human waste with other people, his counterparts in other forests, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so he said that he literally the week before had a conversation with his counterpart at Inyo National Forest.
Yeah.
And Stanislaus National Forest. Like the week before, he's having the same conversation about what do we do about human waste. So he's going to be taking this idea of wag bag stations to Inyo and Stanislaus, his counterparts there too.
Yeah. I think there's just, sorry to semi-interrupt here.
Yeah.
I think there's a lack of information in regards to wag bags.
It totally is. I think there's a huge lack of education.
Yeah. I think that just people don't know what they are. Like they don't know that these things exist. They don't know, that you shouldn't be doing things that you're doing out in nature, or even like the rules behind, like you need to bury it so deep and it needs to be so far away from water and all that, whatever it is. I think there's a lack of information in regards to that. And I think there's just a lack of knowledge or knowing that a wag bag exists. I think people just don't know that it's a thing. Right. And I know that study really kind of showed that. People didn't all these people that are hiking these 14ers, which are not beginning hikers.
They're not beginner hikers. Yeah.
A 14er is no easy mountain to climb.
Yeah.
Right. You have to have gear. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to understand your body and your mind in certain states that you don't normally put. Nobody is normally in.
Yep.
And for the lack of understanding of I need to go to the bathroom. What do I do?
Yep.
And carrying a little thing with you that doesn't really weigh very much, which I know weight is very important for people hiking 14ers. I don't understand why it's not more commonly known
Yep.
about wag bags.
I agree. So went over all that, and it was I went into the meeting super excited, super stoked. I came out of the meeting pretty excited, pretty stoked, but I came out really disappointed
Because there's no way to move forward.
No, not necessarily that. Here's
Okay.
what I came out disappointed about.
There's a lot of poop.
During the meeting, we were talking about the merits of wag bags, right? And kind of when we got down to it, like the user group to be able to use wag bags as humans recreating in the outdoors, right?
Yeah.
And Dustin made a comment.
About horses.
Nope.
Oh.
About off-roaders,
Okay.
and said, yeah, I don't know if off-roaders would ever use these because they're not as outdoor, tread lightly motivated and conscious of wanting to take care of the outdoors like hikers are.
Ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
why did he say that?
that's a good question, right?
Mhm.
So because then the whole rest of the conversation from that point on took a dramatic turn into how can wag bag stations be used on the Pacific Crest Trail?
Got it.
So, which if you start thinking about this, there's a couple things that I want to hit on here.
Okay.
One is, why is it now? So if you're automatically saying, let's implement wag bags for the Pacific Crest Trail over these off-road trails, that tells me that there's more of a human waste problem on hiking trails than there is on off-road trails.
Yes.
And that's really what it comes down to, I think, is that it's obviously more of a problem. If off-road trails were more of a human waste problem, you'd be like, oh yeah, no, we have a big problem over here. We need a solution for it. This is a solution. Let's implement it here. But he specifically, the entire last half of the meeting, all the talks are about how he can implement it for hiking trails.
For hiking trails. Yeah.
But the comment that started all that was that off-roaders don't care about the environment.
Right.
And therefore, because they don't care about the environment, they don't think it'd be implemented there. They doesn't think that off-roaders will use them. But I'm like, but you obviously don't think there's a problem over here on the off-road trails.
Yeah.
or else you would have considered it
there's
more.
There's either
like,
a lack of connection there.
Yeah.
Right. Between, do the off-roaders need it, or is it that you just don't think we'll use it, so you're not going to implement it?
yeah.
Right. Or is it you think that the PCT is actually the biggest point that needs this attention?
It has the most population use, maybe?
I don't think it does have more I mean, there's probably sections of the PCT that have as much or more than some other trail.
He did mention a couple lakes in Desolation Wilderness as well.
Sure.
So there was not just the PCT, but
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if you compare to the amount of people that travel the Rubicon to the amount of people that hike sections, a specific section of the PCT, I would probably say that there's spots that each are comparable.
I would agree. I think the Rubicon gets a ton of traffic.
I do.
He's not in charge of the Rubicon, but
I also feel that there are hiking trails, day hike trails that are part of the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail, that get as much daily traffic as the Rubicon. As the Rubicon, for sure. Right?
Yeah.
Now, the Rubicon has toilets on it and has a toilet service. So the Rubicon isn't his designation, but is much cleaner and kept up within human waste.
Yep.
Right? Where these other hiking trails aren't. They don't have those things.
True.
I don't know exactly which one he's talking about, but I'm making a generalization saying that there's not toilets every few miles down the trail.
Definitely not. There's vault toilets at the parking areas.
Yes.
Sometimes, maybe porta potties at the parking areas, and that's it. That's all you really get on the hiking trails.
And so I think there is more of a need for that for hiking trails than there is off-road trails. Especially since a lot of us off-roaders carry gear, the proper equipment to at least bury our product or our output.
Yep.
Or waste appropriately.
Yeah. Yep. No, totally. But that's kind of my point though, right? And why I came out a little disheartened from the meeting is that the stigma is there that off-roaders just don't care about the environment. We don't tread lightly. We're not conscious of what we do out there. Mm-hmm. But yet a lot of the problems that he mentioned was he goes, yeah, we have to go out and we'll send 6 to 8 rangers to spend 48 to 72 hours on one hiking trail just to clean up human waste. And I wanted to be like, oh man, that sucks. How often are you doing that on off-road trails? Just to kind of like start helping to prove a point. But I was like, this is not the meeting to do that in, Tyler. Right. Shut your mouth. Yeah. But like, I don't know. Maybe off-roaders are just a lot better at hiding it. But like and here in NorCal, I don't see a ton of human waste in off-road trails. No. At least not to the point that it takes 6 to 8 people 3 days to clean up.
No, I agree.
So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm disheartened by that the stigma is there, but the evidence is not there.
Right.
Which is a lot of what we're seeing from Blue Ribbon fighting these trail closures too, right? I
agree. Yeah.
So
I think now that we're talking about this, the first thing that sort of comes into my mind is that if a hiker walks off trail, they don't do a lot of damage to the environment.
True.
If a off-road rig goes off trail, it does damage to the environment.
It totally can, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so I think the fact is that it's easier, and there's bad apples in every group.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
No matter what, there's bad apples in hiking, there's bad apples in off-roading. There's people that are uneducated on both sides of this argument.
It's a people issue, not a hobby issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, it's easier for an off-roader to do damage to the environment than it is a hiker to do damage to the environment.
Yeah.
I saw a video this is off topic a little bit, but I saw a video the other day, a reel on Instagram, and it was a video of a guy that was wandering around in the wilderness somewhere. I don't, on or off trail. I don't know. It was off trail a little bit, if anything, but I don't know if there was, I don't know where he was. Right. And he was walking around and there was a fallen tree and someone had carved into the tree, a very fancy, ornate, like carving into it that was looked like a part of a column from like an old
like a Roman column
thing
That's
with
cool.
like ornate designs at the top and a fancy design pillar base at the bottom and stuff like that. And he's like, whoever did this needs to get hired. Like the work on here is amazing, blah, blah, blah. And in my mind, I'm like, so somebody's been now going out into nature and sort of air quotes defacing nature by carving a tree, right? That will decay and change eventually, but they're implementing something that is not natural out in nature.
Yeah.
And, and I'm watching this video going like, man, someone's like defacing nature.
Yeah.
And you're out there going like, this is great work. Amazing. How somebody needs to give this guy a job. Whoever this was, I don't know how long he spent, but it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but like, it might be amazing work, but like, I don't want to see that if I'm walking around out in the middle of nature.
Yep.
I want to see nature.
Yep. That's a fair point, right? And that's another part of, you take that one step further. One person does that, and now it becomes a viral video. Other people saying like, oh, I can carve stuff on trees now.
Yeah.
So they don't take the fallen tree into account. They just start carving up trees, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's where it kind of becomes a problem issue now. So
yeah, that's a bummer that it was mentioned. I'll say Dustin, but I think that in general, the Forest Service looks down on off-roaders because we are vehicularly traveling across nature.
Yep.
And even though there might be more problems in another outdoor recreation side of things, they just there is the assumption and the stigma is a great word for it, that we are bad, rebellious types of people that don't care about the environment and want to destroy it.
Yep. And it sucks. And it sucks to experience it firsthand from a U.S. Forest Service person.
Yeah.
As being from somebody that is an off-roader trying to put everything forward, including my own money, to help solve this problem. Right. And then be told that off-roaders are not conscious about it and kind of just hit that stigma, slapped in the face with the stigma, right?
Right.
I don't know. It just it sucked. It was a great meeting. It's a great, I think, foot forward and a foot in the right direction. And I'm hoping there's another meeting this week happening to discuss the bathrooms at Barrett Lake,
Okay.
the vault toilet there. So I don't know. I'm hoping that can get resolved, but more than anything, I'm hoping that it helps this one U.S. Forest Service individual at least understand that off-roaders actually do care. And I think a large majority of them do care. And that unfortunately there's the bad apples out there that don't care, and they run their vehicle off trail through a forest and post it online, and everybody's like, oh, that was so cool. It's like, no, it's not cool. We need to stop doing that.
Right.
So that we can hopefully try and beat this stigma.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
anyways, that was my meeting. The Forest Service will let you guys know, I guess, how the Barrett Lake bathroom meeting goes this week.
Yeah. It's a bummer. The way I'm taking this is that off-roading trails aren't as bad as some of the hiking trails.
That's the way I'm taking it too. And the Forest Service doesn't see it that way, even though the evidence is there that way.
Yeah.
It shows that way, right?
You're more interested in, and it also, though it might, and I don't want to defend Dustin or anybody out there, but it might be that their focus is more on hiking trails. That's it. They care more about hiking trails
Totally. And
than anything else out there.
I think that's true as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then that begs the question, why don't they treat all recreation as equal priorities?
Yeah. I can't answer that.
Yeah, right.
I don't have that answer.
I don't either.
I think that it's not correct. You're a government agency and you're overviewing an area that has multiple different types of recreation, from hiking to snowmobiling to off-roading to whitewater rafting, fishing, gold mining, all these different types of recreation, and you should treat them all the same.
Yep.
It's not easy to do.
No, it's not. It's a very difficult job.
But that is your job to be the best voice for all the types of recreation in your general area.
Yep.
Hunting and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. So cool stuff. Hour and 15 into this. How was your weekend, man? How was your week?
My week wasn't a whole lot. It'll be very short. I spent a lot of time getting ready for Black Friday, doing a lot of prep for that, helping out some other people with Black Friday sales and advertising. And then the gist of Samantha that I was kind of going to go into is that I don't think I'm going to do the body swap.
Okay.
I think I need to get that vehicle going sooner than later. And I think the body swap's just another hurdle that I would have to figure out and overcome. And I just don't think it's worth it for this build.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know we kind of were talking about it. I don't know if I ever mentioned the body. I don't remember if I did. But
I don't know if you did.
I was looking at a 1974 Datsun 620, which I think has some really cool body lines. It's also pre-smog, so I kind of wouldn't have to worry about that so much with everything that I'm kind of doing. So that was the big allure, was one, it's a cool body style I've always liked, but also it's pre-smog. So I could kind of bend the rules about what I'm doing with Samantha. But it's a lot more work, and it's a lot more work than I think I want to do for the Samantha build.
Gotcha.
Yep. So I'm going to not do that at the moment.
Okay.
I still might get the body and do it eventually, or maybe do a swap Bobcat, or I don't know, something. I don't know
Swap
what I'm going to. Yeah, maybe Becky's frame or something.
Put the Datsun on Becky's frame.
Yeah. Or just get another wrecked vehicle and, buy one of, what's his face's Forerunners.
Yeah, put it under a Forerunner frame.
Yeah.
Forerunner chassis.
Yeah, that might be kind of cool. Maybe do that. And I could go that route, which would be fun eventually, but it just not for this project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's about it for the most part. I didn't really spend a lot of time in the shop, minus doing the snail armor panels. And then, just the missus and the assistant and the mini assistant are off on vacation this last week or this week. So it's been a hurdle and a challenge to find time to work. So it's, that's been my gist. So hopefully now this week, everybody's back at school. So
cool.
literally back. Both of them are back at school.
Yeah.
So.
Well, sweet. Hopefully everybody has good plans for the holidays coming up. Everybody stays safe through the holidays. You get to see your loved ones and spend time with everybody that is important in your life. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys on Thursday.
Yep. Sounds good.
Any final words for everybody out there, Jimmy?
Don't drink and drive.
Please don't. And with that, my friends, keep crawling.
So I got a off-road rig for the assistant.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Best trade I ever made.
Perfect. Nice.